Galatians 5:6. For in Christ Jesus neither circumcision nor uncircumcision avails anything, but faith working through love. If circumcision does not avail anything, why would any other of God's commandments be of any value either? So here we see three more verses that generally say the same thing. For in Christ Jesus neither circumcision nor uncircumcision avails anything, but a new creation avails. Circumcision is nothing, and uncircumcision is nothing, but keeping the commandments of God is what matters. For circumcision is indeed profitable if you keep the law, but if you are a breaker of the law, your circumcision has become uncircumcision. Therefore, if an uncircumcised man keeps the righteous requirements of the law, will not his uncircumcision be counted as circumcision? And will not the physically uncircumcised, if he fulfills the law, judge you who, even with your written code and circumcision, are a transgressor of the law? It is important to understand that when the New Testament speaks of the circumcision, it's not speaking of the act of circumcision, but rather speaks of Judaism or sometimes ethnic Jews in general. See Acts 10:15, 11:2, Romans 3:30, 4:9, 4:12, 15:8, Galatians 2:7-9, 2:12, Ephesians 2:11, Philippians 3:3, Colossians 4:11, Titus 1:10. Thus, this is comparable to when Paul says, there is neither Jew nor Greek in God's eyes. See Galatians 3:28, Colossians 3:11. His point is that God makes no genealogical distinctions between his people. God does not play favorites. So what can we understand from all these verses mentioning the same concept? Circumcision is nothing and uncircumcision is nothing, but the faith working through love avails because it makes us a new creation, one capable of keeping God's commandments. It doesn't matter if you're ethnically Jewish or if you're ethnically Gentile convert to Judaism, or if you're just a God-fearing Gentile. If you're walking in obedience and faithfulness to God, being of the circumcision does not matter. There was a belief among many Jews that God-fearing Gentiles were inferior to ethnic Jews and Gentile converts to Judaism. Thus, a court of the Gentiles, not commanded by God, existed, which was part of the temple complex that Herod had built. Only Jews were allowed to enter into the temple itself, while Gentiles were excluded from entering, being restricted to the court outside the actual temple. This was the rule instituted by Herod. That courtyard was as close to the temple and thus to the presence of God as a faithful God-fearing Gentile could get in their culture. Paul is arguing that even if the culture says that a Gentile is a second-class believer, in God's eyes it doesn't matter whether a person is of the circumcision or not. If you faithfully keep the covenant, that's all that counts. God-fearing Gentiles are allowed by God to come into the temple to worship. See Isaiah 56, 6-7. These commandment-keeping God-fearers will even judge those Jews who do not have faith in Jesus. See Romans 2:27.